Step in time, body jack. Step in time, body jack. Oh,
do the moves.
yeah.
You switch.
Body jacking now.
Watch out, you're gonna be stacked. Body jack.
Stack.
Body jack.
Stack, stack, stack,
body
stack,
jack.
stack, 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 stack.
Yeah!
Stack 'em.
It's a slow dash move, but it gets you there.
It's a slow startup, but it has a really good charge.
Who knew the conductor could just charge like a train?
This is stacking by Double Fine.
Yeah, and it reminds me of that dash game we played. The way that they dash. Yeah. So this is like a 3D adventure game, but you can stack into other people.
And you can use those people for different skills and abilities.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool to think like this game is like 7 years old, man. Like, I know it got a lot of publicity then, but
we're gonna give it some publicity now.
I think it's like $10. It's not a super long game, but I'd say like this is one of those games where there's quality over quantity. Like, we got to the second or third chapter. The game sort of shows you where you should be going, so it's not really, it's hard to say it's hard, because if you get stuck, you know, you just walk around, talk to people, and like you just
figure out hints from there.
Yeah, like I wouldn't even say it's a puzzler, but it's more about the journey, I think, than...
Oh yeah, but it is a really good puzzler in the fact that there's
multiple... like 100 characters you can stack into, and like they all have different abilities, which is really cool.
That and also, there are multiple ways to solve puzzles.
Yeah, and like the interesting thing is, like, it feels like a New Game Plus game, and I'm not sure if you can go back through the chapters. Can you?
Yeah, you can. Like, it's heavily implied that you can actually go back to different chapters to basically try different.
I think that's
need to
good,
do that
because otherwise, there's some games like this where you have to get the items as you go through it the one time. You have one shot, and like, I think it's great that this game recognizes that.
And
you know,
like,
it's almost impossible to see everything at once.
And it's even better to just have like, it's really good replay value, because you get to find out how many ways you can. For me, it kind of reminds me of like a child-friendly version of Hitman, with just how many. Like, hear me out. There are like many ways to take out your enemies in Hitman, much like how there are multiple ways to go about certain objectives in the game.
Yeah, and it really feels like the writing's really good.
Yeah,
in this game.
It's a really good social commentary kind of game, where it's like your siblings and father are kidnapped by this corrupt baron, and like almost every one of your siblings are being held up because of the selfishness of the first class. So to give you an example of the first level, one of your brothers is stuck shoveling coal, and he's a child. But the reason why that is because the actual coal shovelers are protesting because they want nutmeg in their food.
It feels pretty realistic. I mean, there's an explanation to why everything. It really feels like a livable world, and the graphics are pretty cool. I mean, they're not cutting edge, but there's nothing quite like this game. I've never played a game where you actually stack yourself like
a Matryoshka doll.
I think like the game that we played before with caterpillars.
That game.
It's kind of the same, because you merge your characters and like.
Yeah, but this game is much more not only in depth, but also there are multiple solutions to a problem.
Exactly.
Whereas the caterpillar game seemed like there's only one.
And the way that they interact is different depending on like which character
you get to be as.
Choose to be like, and I feel like the game doesn't really, even though it shows you where you need to go, I think you still have to sort of figure out yourself, which is.
And there's also like cool side quests you can do. Like, we never really touched up upon it, but like we have like these hijacks or like hijinks where you get to, like, for instance, there's like a masquerade party in the second level, so you could probably do something like that.
Each world is really different, and I feel like it's a very animated world, but at the same time, it's sort of like they made sure it didn't get out of control, where like you get lost.
And so I really like
a
how
happy medium, I guess.
Yeah, and the cutscenes are really they hit that aesthetic real well. It plays.
The voice acting's really good, I found.
Yeah.
At least it didn't. Every voice actor we heard seemed decent. It's a very playful game as well. I feel like the humor is
The humor is pretty good.
Yeah.
Again, biting social commentary.
Yeah, I'd definitely say like you could probably get this on sale for $4 or $5. It's $10. It's if you're looking for a unique adventure game that's not too hard, but it's more fun, and I don't think you.
I give this a 9
can't
out
think
of 10.
of any game that has Russian dolls other than this one. It's quite
Unique in that sense, and
yeah.
executes Matryoshka dolls real well too. Like, name me another game where you go around as a Matryoshka doll, essentially body jacking other Matryoshka dolls by basically stacking into them.
Yeah, it's quite unique.
I give this a 9 out of 10. It's a really good game.
Yeah.
I might even go over the edge and give it a 10.
I'd give it like a solid 8.5, 9. It's definitely up there with the other game that we played. What was it called? The adventure game, the knight. Forgotten his name. Anyways, we played it recently.
Ni no Kuni 2?
No. The other game by the other person that worked on Secret of Monkey Island.
King Knight's Quest?
No. Anyways, it's recent. We played it recently, and that's also a cool game. Definitely check it out. So I'd say let's hop on elsewhere.
Body jack!
Body jack! Body jack!